Welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since my last app upload. Thank you for all of the support. Two of my videos just went wild. Thanks for all of the new subscribers. It's been insane. Sadly, I couldn't upload because I started a new job and I'm also in university currently. So there's that. But I did want to bring you my current list for the NNR Rarity Festival, and that is this weird deck combination between True Draco, Megamonarchs, and Generators. And the game plan is literally just big beater go face. I didn't really want to learn all of the fancy Metal Foes combo. I didn't really want to learn all of the Megalith combos. And do those have a higher ceiling? I mean, maybe technically, yeah. Do we have a skill drain? Yeah. So, like, who's really the winner? No, but seriously, this deck is relatively easy to pilot. Most of these cards make a deck anyways, right? Like, you can play True Draco on ranked ladder. I can maybe show you in another video my True Draco list, so these wouldn't even be wasted materials if you are close on normal to rare cards, if you've already tried some different decks in this format. So let me just go over a card by card. I'm going to highlight some cards that I think are necessary to show you, some effects that are necessary for us to know. So yeah, we were playing One Planet Pathfinder because the boss stage is kind of insane. It gets us one of those three generator monsters. This one being a pop, with the downside that our opponent gets to draw one, but we can pop up to 4. And for every card that we pop from our opponent, they sadly get to draw one. But regardless of that, this one stops a special summon. So that's nice. This one banishes one card our opponent controls. Also really nice. The True Draco monsters, this gets us a monster whenever our opponent activates any effect. Any effect. This gets us a spell card, either directly onto the field or into our hand, and it also activates it. Not the effect, but it's then active on the field. And then we have Adreus the Third. This one you don't see in competitive lists on ranked ladder. It's usually not that great, and you would want to use the super rare version. We don't have the super rare version, and as you'll shortly see, we want as many True Draco cards as we can play, simply because they're technically our starters with boss stage, meaning that in total this has, with the 8 True Draco and the 3 boss stages and the Pathfinder, we are on 12 starters, which isn't horrible whatsoever. In a 40 card deck where we draw 5 cards, that's an average of 80% that we're going to find at least one of them. And if we find at least one of them, it's pretty much just an easy W, and the games don't take long for us regardless of what we do. The Megamonarchs that we decided to play are 1 Grandmark, 1 Thessalos, 2 Ryza. You can change up however you want to do this. This pops 2. If we tribute over a Draeth, we also get to draw 1. This makes our opponent discard 1. If we tribute over an Ignis, we also deal 1,000 damage. This one bounces something back to hand, I think. Place the first targets on top of the deck in any order, and the second one then in the hand. The second one we can only target if we tribute over a Majesty Maiden. Then we have the 3 generators, over which I already went. We have March of the Monarchs, protecting literally everything that we tribute summon, which is insane in this deck, making it not being able to be destroyed by combat, meaning that the only thing that can get rid of our monsters is then Earthworm and Dynamiscus, I'm pretty sure, unless there's something archetype specific, obviously. And we play triple Return of the Monarchs because it is also a continuous spell, just like March of the Monarchs, which we can tribute summon our True Draco monsters over. Also, it adds us the Mega Monarchs and it also adds us Ignis whenever we tribute summon anything, as long as this is on the field after the tribute summon is completed. True Drake, and then the typical True Draco stuff: triple Heritage, triple Disciples of True Draco Phoenix, triple True King's Return, and the True Draco Apocalypse, of which we can sadly only play one. If these cards get tributed over, they destroy a spell or trap, and if the trap cards get tributed over, we destroy a monster. Or rather, when they are destroyed, I think. Yeah, if it's just sent to the graveyard. So if our opponent uses an MST on them, the effect still triggers. The spells have the effect that we can make an additional tribute summon immediately after this effect resolves, but only for our True Draco cards. And the traps have the effect that we can do that on our opponent's main phase, which is both really powerful. Then we run double Forbidden Chalice. You could argue that maybe we want to play lands simply to have more protection for our tribute summon monster, but we already have triple March of the Monarchs and double Draeth, who protects other True King monsters. And then why I really like this deck is our skill drain. The Monarchs erupt. That's why True King Draco has a shot in ranked play, because you have triple skill drain, triple Monarchs erupt. And the additional effect of Monarchs erupt is that tribute summoned monsters do not have their effects negated. Meaning, all of our Mega Monarchs effects, they work. All of our True Draco's effects, they work. Our opponent's probably not gonna do that. So, I mean, they're probably not gonna tribute summon, so their effects don't work, which is phenomenal. We have 3 different ways of quote-unquote drawing cards. This doesn't really draw cards, it adds. These 2 do draw cards. This usually you want to have in the early game, this usually you want to have in the late game to shuffle back some monsters from your graveyard and to shuffle back some spells and traps. And that's pretty much it. Again, we have 12 starters. We usually want to have one of them in our starting hands. And let's just hop into it. If there are any questions, post them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, please also leave them in the comments below. And what I also want to say is that this deck list is heavily inspired by the deck list that's posted by Head-to-Head Battles. They posted it before the end to our festival, and they did play triple advanced draw. I did cut that simply because I was feeling as though advanced draw doesn't really help us. We can sack our generators to it and our Mega Monarchs, but I think usually we would rather have them on the field than sacrificed. So yeah, now he's going to draw a card. That's going to trigger boss stage. We cannot summon them from our hand, and advanced draw makes it so that we would need to sacrifice them from the field, meaning that getting them out of our hand is already extremely difficult. If we had, I don't know if they can be tributed. If they can be tributed for a tribute summon, then obviously they would also interact with our True Draco monsters, as long as we had a True Draco trap on the field, giving us an additional free summon, essentially. I'm just immediately going to say no to that special summon. This is, maybe it's the Gadget Infinitrack deck, so he can't have an additional special summon. That's why I'm not popping it. If he goes to combat step, then obviously I will banish it using our Utgarda. Now we will do this using 2 of these tokens. The tokens, they destroy themselves anyways. We have banished the gold gadget. Perfect. And it's only destroyed by battle or card effect, and because we banished it, that didn't happen. We have a second boss stage that's not really helpful until we draw a True Draco monster. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit and literally just swing in. Ring of Destruction. He could have used it even if we didn't swing in, so that's that. I'm going to end the turn here. We still have one more Generator monster, and after that, boss stage is just a useless field spell, sadly, because, again, we can't special summon from our hand. And now we have a way to prevent one special summon. When your opponent would special summon a monster quick effect, you can tribute one Generaider monster or one Worm monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. Again, these are now true Draco fuels because they don't bring anything from deck. They make tokens, I guess, but we already have a second one. So the true Draco monster would be the best thing for us to draw. Just pure end phase, great. Perfect. We can't tribute over the field spell? I don't like that. The issue is with this one, it only adds as a creature, which doesn't really help. Yes, that would open up the Ryza, but at the same time, that doesn't help us a whole lot either. I'm just gonna swing here. If he has another Ring of Destruction, there's nothing we can do. Again, they could have done that either way. The annoying part is we sadly lose here. We bricked by drawing 3. Like, 2 Megamonarchs and a Generaider monster and the second boss stage, which is the first time that has ever happened to me. And they only need to deal 3.7k. Depending on what is in his hand, this is a loss. Looks like this is a loss, in fact. Draglubion is not a win, though. Here comes Draglubion. Presumably he makes Earthworm. So if we draw any true Draco spell card, specifically spell card, we are actually still in the game. Because Ryza returns them to hand. Forget what I said. We cannot target this dude. Yeah, we didn't draw any enemies. So sadly, there is nothing we can do. Breaking really hard. This is the first time that I've bricked this hard ever. But what will you do? Sooner or later, the dice will come for you as well. And let's just hop right into the next one. If we would have been extremely lucky if we could have set up our skill drain, but again, that's always lucky. It takes 3 cards for us to do that. It takes any true Draco monster, any spell or trap. And yeah, like if this was the skill drain, we would already have it. Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Great. We drew double. We play 3 of these. I don't know what's happening to us right now, but we are incredibly unlucky. So nothing happened here. I will actually set this card so that he doesn't get a response. And then I will summon this. Because this doesn't need to be activated for us to tribute over it. And if we do activate it, he does get a response. Now we have a fetch and a pop. The only issue, quote unquote, is that we would have had an additional summon if we used the effect of that card. So you can argue that I played it wrong or not. The issue is, I believe, MST, that is going to deny us the search with that. I think we targeted something else though, and we are going to get the fetch for the true Draco monster. This is mainly for deck thinning, if anything at all. Phoenix Wing Blast. That is extremely annoying. Because that essentially hoses our entire turn. Oh, does it shuffle the deck afterwards? Yeah. No, that's fine then. Because we already have one in hand. And I guess he can go on to beat down now for 1400. Which is fine. Imagine he immediately draws a monster to beat us down with. What do you do? He drew... Of course. Of course. He immediately drew a monster. What would be great for us would be a true Draco trap. That would genuinely just be the best that we could get. We drew boss stage. That isn't awful either. It's not amazing, right? But because we already drew 2 of our generator monsters, and if this was still in the deck, that would have been pretty much an auto win. But we didn't. If he top decked MST, I'm going to cry. I'm genuinely going to cry if you top decked MST. Oh my god. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Like, what the fuck? Top deck monster into top deck MST. This deck, I promise to you that this deck is good, and I'm just getting really unlucky with my draws, and my opponents are drawing insane. Like, insanely well. Knowing that he had an MST, though, it probably was correct setting it and then immediately tribute summoning over it. Now the question is, I think we would rather have the Draco Heritage still available to us. We will immediately activate it, of course. Yes. We will use the True King's Return here, even though we cannot pop anything. We will only activate this. We will add a normal one here. We will not activate this to pop one, and we will add an Ignis to our hand. Now what we can do is we can activate True Draco Heritage to draw a card, which is a boss stage, and then we can normal summon, or tribute summon, over the Heritage, getting us an Ignis and a boss stage on field with setting this. Now what this has done is that whenever he activates anything, we get another Heritage onto the field. And he cannot target the Ignis with card effects. And Ignis is protected. And we have a banish. Of course, we also have the backup skill drain. I don't know what you want more. Right? Like, I genuinely do not know what you could possibly want more. Oh my god, he's also playing it. This is wild. So you can either pop the Generator monster. Okay, so he is doing that. So I will activate the Ignis here. He will probably activate the Majesty Maiden. He didn't. Well, I will now activate this. Getting rid of my tokens in this case. And banishing the Majesty Maiden. Which is weird. I don't understand quite why he is using this. But he is, so yeah. We do not want to flip this in this scenario. Now he's using the Forbidden Chalice, presumably to get rid of, to stop the Utgarda from working. Which we can't prevent from happening. But because we haven't decided yet what we want to add to our hand, we can in fact choose Disciple of the True. And we do not want to immediately activate it. We want to put it into our hand because he's most likely going to attack over the Drea. There's the Heritage. He's going to Tribute Summon over it. I will turn this to off because it's unlikely for him to have anything that we would want to stop. I guess you could argue that, oh, I should have already flipped it, but I'd rather use it as a negate and not as a play around this, right? So I want him to commit to something and then I want to stop him. And not him already knowing that this is something that he has to get around. Currently, he doesn't know what this is. This could be an MST. This could be... Well, it probably isn't an MST since I haven't destroyed the Heritage. So, yeah. He now has one of three choices to pop. Presumably boss stage. If he doesn't do boss stage, I have enough ways to stop, like, to annoy him next turn. Just through this singular card. Great. He currently can only swing over this. He crashes. Okay. I think I'll just get another one. Right? Like, why would I not get another one? Okay. He got a Majesty Maiden. He does play 14 extras, 14 cards here, so maybe he has an Xyz monster that he wants to go into, which would be perfect for me because, again, we have a negate. We have a skill drain, which he cannot play. And there it is. The Volcasaurus. Activate the effect. Come on. There we go. I put it to off. I'm an idiot. So if you don't suck, this would have worked, okay? Remember this. Like, in your head, remember that just don't suck and everything's gonna go up. Everything's gonna go well if you do not suck. If you do suck, well, then nothing's gonna go well for you. I will shuffle back these three. I decided to go over the trap over the spell card because we are capable of searching a trap card with this. And I'm choosing both creatures because we do want to have that. Well, and now we lose because I suck. We would have had a 2800 defense body on the board, which he could not out with this card. But now we don't. We can set this and then just say go. I have shown you the worst games that I've ever had with this deck. We are losing to literally an inferior version. and you saw the misplay that I did, if I wasn't on off because I'm lazy to press cancel, we could have stopped the destruction effect like we can this time around. Does he have a chalice? That would be perfect. He doesn't have a chalice. Well, okay. We will take 100 here. But we can technically revive it with the True King's Return. The only issue with that is that it will no longer be a tribute summoned monster. It will be a special summoned monster, so its effects are also negated. And the Monarch's Erupt will be destroyed at the end of the turn. He's using Book of Moon on his own creature. Interesting. Presumably to still pop the Ignis Heat. I will add another True Draco Heritage to hand. I will not activate it immediately, because maybe we want to do some other stuff. Will be destroyed. Presumably he can flip it up immediately as well, because he hasn't done anything with it yet. He tribute summons over it. For Ignis Heat. Its effects aren't negated, so he's going to get a spell from it regardless. I'd want him to move to combat first, because if he gets the spell now and activates it, it's only in main phase. I need to go to bed during your opponent's main phase. I need to go to bed twice. Because this is from hand. This is the special summon effect. I guess now we have it for next turn. He's going to get a spell or trap. I should have done it in end phase. Why am I still awake? Guys, it's like 1 in the morning for me. Why am I still awake? I shouldn't be playing this game anymore. If I did it in end phase, he couldn't have gotten any of these back. He now gets an additional draw and potentially an additional tribute summon. Great. I suck at this game, apparently. Again, if we had flipped this correctly, we would have a 2800 defense unit on our board, which he currently hasn't shown a way to beat over. There is a boss stage. That's not bad. I will change this to attack position, and I will attempt to swing in. Send from the field to the graveyard this turn, which would give us a draw. Also, I want him to use his MSTs and whatnot. We draw 1 card. Thank God. We currently have 2 in the grave, so I will summon over this using its effect. He isn't stopping us. Great. Putting it onto the field, triggering this, giving us a Megamonarch, and triggering the pop effect, getting rid of the one that's open. We're searching for the Megamonarch because he currently has 2 set cards, which we then can destroy with the Earth Megamonarch, and drawing an additional card. We still have 2 generator monsters. He can destroy anything here that he wants to. Presumably, Disciples of True Draco Phoenix, because if he doesn't do that, we get an additional draw. I don't really care for anything else, because he also has tributed summoned monsters. We have a second return of the Monarchs, also it's once per turn. Do I want to use this simply to get this on board? I think so. No, I actually... Oh no, yes, I think so. Because it will then go to the graveyard. Meaning this is still activatable. Shuffling 3 back into the deck. Drawing an additional card. That's not beneficial to us whatsoever. But we can now summon this using its effect. Destroy. Yes. Destroy. Now he could have the traps set. Bottom floodgate trap hole. Okay, so this is now set forever. Which again, we are a tribute deck, so it's not the worst in the world. And we drew another one of those, which again is not helpful to us. I will, however, use the boss stage in this case. And I think we just say pass turn. This does trigger our boss stage as soon as he draws a card. Right now that is just a big creature. So we will actually get the one with the bigger booty. We haven't seen a creature from him yet that has over 1,500, over 2,500 attack. Because the Majesty Maiden has less. Arguably, we should not have activated these. Okay. A Forbidden Chalice. At this point, go wild, I guess. A Sangan. I think so. I don't know if it works the way I want it to work, but we will figure that out right now. This only negates effects on field. This specifically says that targets effects. Apparently also only on field. What did he add? A Time Lord? You live and you learn, and you should go to bed when it's past 1 o'clock. I will set the other Monarchs Erupt. Because we can... Can we? I think we can activate the effect. Because this is, technically speaking, still a tribute summoned monster. So that's also the reason why this Erupt doesn't die. He did add a Time Lord, and usually that would be fatal to us. The issue here is that it don't matter? I will not add the second effect because these are under skill drain, essentially, with the Monarchs Erupt. So the 1500 creature would just be a liability. And yeah, the fact that we are still in this game is sad, right? Like, I should have lost this game already. That many monsters on the field, destroy them. He doesn't have any monsters that we would want to destroy, so that's not going to happen. Change to attack position, and we will just fight. For I have chosen violence. Boom. This is the first back and forth that we are having, and it's against a not so great deck. That is fine. He draws one more card, which is not end all be all for us. I said this because at any point in time we now can revive the Drea. And I assume he stays because he wants to get his 50 gems or 50 medals for the path. And we won, finally. Arguably against the worst version of our deck. I take it. A win is a win. But as you can see, my win rate is genuinely not bad. I went on a losing streak, I went on a winning streak, and these are the two unfortunate games that you saw. I will quickly jump into the match history, and can we check our opponent's deck in that last game? What is going on? He plays triple Time Lord. Battle Protection. Random extra deck cards. At least seemingly random. I don't know what our opponent was doing. But the video is already going on for 38 minutes. This is a long one. Thank you if you sticked out. I doubt that anybody will. Again, this is the entire deck list. I will upload this video because fuck it. I wish you a grand time with the NR Festival. And again, thank you for all of the new subscribers and for the support. It's been like insane to me how many people have seen my videos now. I did not think that it was ever going to happen. I did this channel essentially just as a how hard could it be to make YouTube videos, and I can tell you that harder than anticipated because it just drains the fun out of it, and that's also why I haven't made a whole lot of videos on Master Duel lately, because I haven't really enjoyed the game a whole lot. Nothing new happened, right? There's no new meta, there's no new decks, there's no new cards. Now we have a new festival, and that's also why there's a new video from me. But yeah, depending on how much time I have, I might upload a second video, hopefully one that's more in my time range, meaning like 20-minute video. And yeah, hope to see you again. If you saw this, leave 69 nice in the comments, I guess. And bye. See you next time.